Continuing with yesterday's session, the third session that we're going to go ahead and do. It is the 12th of June 2025. It is a Thursday. It is 11 in the close to noon time. So it is Jupiter, Mars and Jupiter. Acha, it is a double Jupiter day. Okay, good. So today is a double Jupiter day. It's a good day. We continue with the session. We've had our own revelation actually. So I gave an offering actually yesterday. No, day before. I didn't show it on camera. But today I have been a little, let's just say, I don't know why when I have got up, I've been a little cranky. And I think for a good reason. I've been a little cranky primarily because I realize if my reading is talking about the bones of so many people who contributed to national building in many places following the rules, regulations and the law appropriately, and they were unceremoniously done away with, and on the back of it since 2009 there is mass confusion and replacement with criminals in those key positions, shapeshifters with no ability for actual governance is what I understand, deeply entrenched in a criminal network that is not good for anybody. So it makes me very cranky. Not only that, without having this throw done, it had already from the downloads been established that actually this government politics is a thankless job had come out of my mouth, though I have nothing to do with politics. In the year 2021-22, and I was wondering where that came from. So that was somebody's thought from who has already passed on or who is in deep sleep, I'm not sure. The other thing that went off was you were told that तुम्हारे ऊपर इतने लोगों का श्राप है, तू कब उसको चुकता करेगा, वो तुम्हारे ऋण रिपू. Because when you are contributing to an agenda that also which is criminal, the choice of spies that have taken over from other spies is straight from the bottom of the pyramid with no ethics and morals. There, you say the villain in you, the evil in you. The villain in them and the evil in them is on the back of the poverty-ridden ancestral lines that they come from, which does not give them a balanced head or a balanced thinking required for appropriate governance. Because that is the villain in them, according to my understanding, picked up by the criminal network, understanding what it is that makes them the villain. They have chosen appropriately because it is chosen by the criminal network. They want somebody who has no ethics, morals, has huge problems connected with their ancestry and willing to do anything to give the criminal network what they want at any cost. Those are the kind of people that have been picked up by the criminal network and have been plugged into places where key officials in key positions required for actually the world to function appropriately according to rules and regulations. That's what's messed it all up. Okay, so if the cues from 2009 were coming from a source that has actually been picked up primarily by the criminal network to further destroy things, and they were the ones giving the cues, then you can understand how they would have digressed the entire setup. Everything that has come out of them would be manipulated, steeped in lies, deception, deceit, with a viewpoint of getting things any which ways that they can. When it comes to Mr. Kiran Merchant, who is my mother's second husband, sometime in 2007, 8, 9, on the phone they were painting him as God's good man. Except that the real Mr. Kiran Merchant, my reading says, was murdered in 2009. But I say, on his identity, to have to warn my mother that no, there's something wrong in the behavioral pattern, but not able to say so because he is known to be a really good man, and I vouch for it for the original. But problems in his identity I saw in 2007 sometime and 8 sometime. So my pendulum insists that he was murdered in 2009, but I say no, I saw problems in his behavioral pattern different from what I've known from the 70s. So where was Kiran Merchant for those 2 years? He was murdered in 2009 is what my pendulum says. But the build-up to him being murdered, where was he for 2 years? Why was there a difference in his behavioral pattern observed by me? And in that time, why is it that on the phone the recording had to be done that Mr. Kiran Merchant, the face astrologer, face reader who has gone to Sham Kotak's office, one look at Kiran Merchant and he says he's God's good man. This is a sant, this is a saint. Why did that have to happen? Because all his practices though were done in the 80s, the 70s, the 90s. Why did this reference have to be made 2009, 2007, 8, 9, sometime in that time? Why was it purposely recorded on the phone? The real Kiran Merchant was murdered in 2009. This is one small example of how they manipulate it when they know that they're going to get rid of somebody and place a notorious, useless, deceitful kind of person who will be replacing the original and doing identity theft. This is one example. So I have already told you that when they are messing around with the originals, it is one thing that they are messing around with the original. When they get rid of the original and they're bringing in a duplicate, they have to broadcast the good traits of the dead original for whom the replica miscreant has come in, and then whatever they did to the original, which is evil acts, bad acts, terrible acts, including stealing, rape, murder, arson, treason, they have to hone upon it only when the duplicate replica comes in. This is how they trigger all these guys working in key positions. It is always on the back of the manipulative, deceptive duplicate. Dubious as bloody shit, with no bloody ethics whatsoever. The kind of people he hires also are desperados, the substrata of the bottom of the pyramid according to my understanding. They're the only ones who will work for him. That network of 75 to 100 who he has hired have to be from that background only. My pendulum insists that a very deep study, June 2002 to June 2006, every aspect, every component has to be looked at like a microscope, under a microscope, because the answer is within that only. June 2002 is 1 month before I left that so-called sham of a marriage at Ranka Park at Bangalore off Residency Road near Bangalore Club. What transpired on the back of it at that place? SL's role, how Kira was brought in, Doval being sent to find Dawood Ibrahim, 2005, SM Krishna being brought to Bombay, Cyrus Mistry being pulled off the grid 2006 June. What built it to that level? Who did Cyrus Mistry? His behavior did not stop. Whatever he was doing, he was continuing to do. But who he used to help him out in whatever he was doing are the ones who turned against him. Prodding it on if we understand, Kira has got 26 kalpas at Nark and Patal is what the pendulum last night confirmed. He has stood in for Mr. Kiran Merchant. Today I have a feeling he is shape-shifting. I asked the pendulum if he is shape-shifting at Shapurji Palunji for the older brother. I got yes. Gautam E and Pavitra are used in this network along with Bhartila also to shapeshift. They also come and go from Shapurji Palunji. To be Rohika, you have to be 5'3" in height. I think Pavitra and Gautam E have the height. I think they are a little taller than that. The small built one is the one who was coming into my home. One from West Bengal, one from Gujarat, one from Maharashtra, look like. One from Tamil Nadu. All shape shifting for that one girl. Or wearing the ego of hers, I don't know. Point is, she is not more than 5, 1.5, 2 in height. So she would have to play a woman who is small built and up to 5, 1.5 max. The other two can play the taller girl. They're all part of this nexus of shapeshifters. Kira runs the show. He's called a Pakistani spy. He is in Shapurji Palunji as of now to steal from them. Left over there only the two sons of Rohika Chagla Mistry and Cyrus Mistry, or if they have some sisters. Cyrus Mistry, in that photo, those two ladies who are left behind, the father is no more. Patsy, the mother is no more. They're all shape-shifted for. The father is openly dead. Patsy is shape-shifted for. Rohika is shape-shifted for. The brother-in-law of Rohika is shape-shifted for. So who is left are the kids of that group and two women. They're no match, frankly, if they don't know where this shit is coming from, they're no match for these guys of this they're of a very poor quality. You better be very careful. That's all I will tell you. So the offering that was given yesterday, it was a little surprising to show you. This is what I offered day before yesterday. I didn't show it yesterday simply because I didn't think it was necessary. But since we're on the topic of something that is frankly very disgusting, very, very, very disgusting. So this is the smiley that was offered day before yesterday. When I arrived over here the next morning, what I got was the top one was like this. So, I got a little freaked out, so I just exchanged it. I'll just very quickly tell you how it was when it was first done this way. They're just baked in the oven. Okay, it is smileys that are from the processed food. So it was just put into the oven, and this is what I got, and I did an offering and ate some myself. So this freaked me out simply because 2 years ago on my door I showed you a photo in which the nose had been broken, the head space skull had been broken, and something on the side of the head had been broken. So this kind of freaked me out. It was on the top. I had to exchange it with what was at the bottom, which is what these were originally. Simultaneously in those days, while I said, this is looking like my Varsha. This face, the way she is looking like my baby Varsha. Varsha, you got her down as file name Katz, K-A-T. She's JAYA.ADVANI. My sister, both of us have gone to Fort Convent School together. What you have put on her, the way she was treated for 9 years by your Kira, who misused Prashanti Nilayam also at Lunavla, where Rohika Chagla Mistry, my pendulum is saying, was taken over there, CRISPR'd as Anita Merchant and died as Mrs. Bhimra. But the atrocities on the girl is not a joke. Especially given her background, it is absolutely unacceptable. SL was involved in it. When she is talking, now she's gone. She won't be returning, is what I was told. She's been sent on her further journey. What she was allowed by Shirdi Sai Baba to speak about was spoken. She had to give a little bit. She's gone now. Her Atma is not here anymore. With Shirdi Sai Baba, you cannot be there more than how much he allows you. JAYA.ADVANI has been allowed for 1 year to be here. She meditates a lot in the evening. Yesterday, throughout the day, she was meditating. She will be leaving from here for some time. She will be returning over here before the 12th of July, 2025. What you were told in very clear terms is you got the curses of the who's who have built appropriately according to the universal laws, law and order of the land. You got rid of them. Their bones are thrown wherever it is thrown. You have their curses on you. It is the who's who have cursed you. You got no chance going forward. None whatsoever. You are highly uneducated. You are a lawbreaker. You are a habitual offender. Even when it comes to your horrendous Atma. So that dance drama, heretics for 400 years is not going to serve you going forward. Connected with technology. When the body is temporarily connected to the Atma, what is your bloody useless technology? That also defined by your limited vision, lack of understanding, lack of actual education for the spirit laws, total disrespect for the land laws. You are no good. Useless Atma at bestest to describe you. Okay? When it comes to this which was shown on the wall, this is a neater representation than what was on the wall. It was not on the wall, it was on my bedroom door. Then in the temple over here in the balcony, when my temple was kept outside, in that temple garlands had been put onto some of the photos of the gods within the temple. That temple has moved to my laundry room as of now. Over there in the garland, I see a baby who's looking like Varsha. Varsha's energy on a flute. And it's not a flute, it is like, I don't know what you want to call it. Is it a saxophone kind of thing? Or a trumpet? I don't even know what it is. It's not a trumpet, it's just like a long flute. Something between a flute and a saxophone, and she seems to be like a Shehnai kind of thing. And this is what I saw that photo and I said, but this is reminding me of the energy of Varsha. Parallel to that is on my door the image, something like this, where the skull is broken on one side, the nose is broken on one side, the mouth is not smiling, it is wide open. It's like she's screaming for help, and the side of her skull is broken. That was represented on my door. The same thing has represented itself over here, but with the smiley, which is forced simply because. So this is after how many years? 2 years. The last time this was shown to me was in which year? Either 23 or 24. According to me, 23. So you did wrong to this girl. She has the audience of Shirdi Sai Baba, this community that is talking via the pendulum. There are lots of Hindus in it also. The only thing that is commonality amongst them all is they came from well-off families. So you, in the name of whatever your excuses were, when you have harmed all these people, the only thing that is common amongst them, whether they are Hindus, whether they are Muslims, whether they are Catholics, whether they are Sindhis, whether they are Punjabis, whether they are Gujaratis, whether they are Marwadis, there are so many Marwadis involved here. The only thing common amongst them is they were born in well-off families. They hired the labor class because they ran factories. Or they were high-end officials who contributed to the building of a nation, their educated way, keeping very much with the spirit laws as well as the laws of the land. That is what went against them. Because what came in and what was brought in by the criminal cartel was the most uneducated, desperate lot, substrata of even the bottom of the pyramid, because they're the only kinds who would keep their mouth shut and do the work for the criminals. That's what you did from 2009, including SKF. 9 men for 1 man murdered in 2009. Nixie Nikhil is one of them. Or all 3 of them? I don't know. But he is not Nikhil Advani, my cousin. Nikhil Advani and myself belong to this group, where by birth सामने से जो है हमको मिलता है. कोई मैनिपुलेशन, डिसीट और अगली बिहेवियर, अगली आत्मा तो है ही नहीं जो चोरी करके कुछ ग्रैब करे. Nothing of that sort. Whereas you people belong to the latter category. There is a big chasm at a nascent stage at the very core. It's called the Atma. The loka you come from. The loka you have earned going forward. So don't ever mix it. You understood. Bharti or Bhartila. Picked up from Regina Pacis with the other girls who were working between 2003-2004. Whoever hired those girls made one of them a bioweapon. Those girls shapeshift in and out. They work for Kira. Kira जो किरण merchant नहीं है. Those are the girls who have also helped in the interpretation, misinterpretation, बढ़ाएं चढ़ाएं those identities, those people. Like किरण merchant को मारो लेकिन उसको एक संत साधु बनाओ, सेंट बनाओ फोन के ऊपर. फिर वहीं से हर घटिया कर्म करो. 2008 के साथ कब किया है? Where did Kiran Merchant end up before you murdered him in 2009? According to me, Kiran Merchant's behavior was different from mid-2007 onwards. There was a problem on the identity. I even warned my mom, not understanding why and where. So you keep giving the wrong information to people. You've been recording shit. You know bloody well what you've been doing. Manipulative, deceitful, uneducated swines. That's what you've been. These are people who have already passed on. They have left their body, gone to the afterlife. Rohika for those few days was hanging around with these people. These people had the audience of Shirdi Sai Baba. Most of them are Hindus. तो घर में घुस के मारेगा, किसको मारेगा? तुम्हारे लिए टेररिस्ट कौन है? अगर तू है लेबर क्लास मिडिल ईस्ट का और यहाँ पे तू रियर्डो एंट्री आया है, ऐसे ऐसे पोजीशंस में खुद को घुसाया है, कैसे कैसे लोगों का सहायता लेके इसी ग्राउंड पे, तो तुम जो है एनिमी तुम लोगों के लिए होता कौन है? Subjective matter. You can play with words and then fuck it up really badly because on the back of it you make something. Bloody desperado of shit. So this was not done by anybody, it was done on its own. Okay, this is how it turned out. We will still keep it covered. Nothing, that's just a baked dish. She likes the bake, I like a bake. It's a baked vegetable, and that's it. It's good for all of us. This is frankly not got to do with, it's not got to do with borders. Spies are not bad people. Spies are put into place for what? To keep world peace if they can. Right? If they come to know somebody is making a nuclear weapon, somebody is going to be creating something that is destructive to humanity's welfare and peace. So that's not so bad. What is horrendous is when civilians of poverty are hired by criminal networks, are triggered to destroy their own government, under the government, all the lawful people who are working, to destroy that, go throw the bones in some shithole, and then to bring in the crap which is substrata of even the bottom of the pyramid, with no ethics, no morals, confusing everything. Now that's evil law. Come on, no time for your bullshit. Take it somewhere else. And listen, don't you ever talk about majboori and पेट का सवाल. You fucking want to, there are 15 लोकास, तुमको 15 लोका के अंदर अगर तू चॉइस सबसे घटिया लोका का किया है कर्म के तौर पे, you don't have the right of talking about subjective matters when you don't put in your work. And when you put in your work, you do all the shitty acts. So you are nobody to justify anybody or anything. तो खुद का जो कुछ भी कमाया है जाके उसको खत्म कर. That's it. You understood? Don't give poor excuses. I don't have time for rubbish. I benchmark you against the upbringing I got from the kind of good people I got. When you are a stinking piece of shit, you become a stinking piece of shit. You don't level up. You ship yourself out. Shit yourself out. Don't come around my orbit. Understood? Be gone. Come on. Bloody useless shit. है तो trash from a bloody trash can. निकलो यहाँ से. The pendulum gets upset when we talk like this or we lose our temper. But I can't help it. Let her deal with this shitty energy. Let her deal with them. If she's able to tolerate it all the time she's sitting meditating, which is good, because Shirdi Sai Baba must have told her to do. So she's in her own world. I have to deal with this nonsense. Okay, so anyway, we'll try. We'll see. I think she will talk. So she may. Rohika's Atma has moved. My suggestion to you is do not keep calling her name out at my home. She is probably been given a journey going forward, which she has to finish some things. There are some people in this bunch. Next 15 to 20 years, they say they have to expeditiously finish karma, coming and going from spirit to body. When I'm going to exit out of the body, at that point in time, as a community, we'll be going back home to the upper realms. So let them finish whatever it is. Don't keep calling the Atma if they have transferred out of the body into spirit. You will be disturbing them. So let them be in peace. Let them do. They are guided by a good guide. The guide is Shirdi Sai Baba. He is far greater than you are. Tomorrow, if she gets disturbed because you are doing what you generally do, you got this Midas touch. Whatever you touch becomes gold to dust because you come from an impoverished loka. Impoverished understanding, lack of understanding. फिर वो भी घटिया कर्म आत्मा जो निकल चुका है तुमको ऑलरेडी बता चुके हैं, वहाँ पे भी तू कांडी करता रहता है. फिर वो जो घटिया कर्म है तुम्हारे जो घटिया आत्मा है वापस उसी पे लगेगा. 23 kalpas, 26 kalpas as earned by you people will become another 30 kalpas. नर्क और पाताल सीलिंग हो जाता है. So don't destroy yourself. You are already destroyed. That's why you do shamelessly the kind of acts you do. Because before you were born, you know once this birth is over, where you going back to. क्या? What is सलमान खान का जो रियलिटी शो जो होता है एंजल्स एंड डेविल्स, क्या बोलते हैं, हम सब लोग तो जा रहे हैं नरक ही यार. दैट इज आफ्टर ही हैज दबंग दबंग एंड मुन्नी बदनाम, SKF, after the real Salman Khan is dead. Eclipses the sun, but then 2009 is when the bones were thrown of the who's who. In those dunes. So he has gone on record to tell you what he's all about. There are 9 of them who shapeshifting for that position. Which PM has shapeshifters for him? The mask that was handed out at the time when a dead Mr. Modi has been made the PM. NDM, Namo Namo के bones भी इसी में है. A good fine handshake. Substrata of society around the world. Mass exodus of those people who actually had the ability for governance. The wealth stolen, distributed, showing you as a rise in income, which is not a rise in income, it is blood money. You have the curse of the who's who on you. एक भी ताना वहाँ से खाओ. It's like miracle prasad, black magic, voodoo and witchcraft. Almost immediately you will be thrown into Nark Patal to join your contemporaries who triggered you to do the horrendous acts, and then you ate also from it, you lied also, you're an accomplice to crime. Yes, ultimately जो है तुमको कोई बोलने वाला है, जितना जो है यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं, आगे जाके तुमको कोई नहीं बोलने वाला है, तुमको बस करना है. वो भी नंगा घूम के, आत्मिक रूप से, जो हर किसी को नंगा बनना पड़ता है, जैसे शरीर छोड़ के आत्मा रूप में हम लोग निकले. Some go to an okay loka, the rest of you go nanga nanga naching. Where you'll go? Nark and Patal. For most of those asked connected with these reads, Patal is the ceiling. उसके ऊपर तू जा ही नहीं सकता है, तुम्हारा कमाई है ही नहीं. Are you here? Okay, I'm glad you're moving with strength. You are file name KAT JAYA.ADVANI, who went to Fort Convent School with me. They've been taking Rohika's name all the time. Rohika Chagla Mistry is with you as of now. Rohika Chagla Mistry will be returning sometime in the future over here. Shirdi Sai Baba has sent Rohika Chagla Mistry onto her future journey wherever she has to go as an Atma to birth or whatever it is she has to do, or whichever loka she has to go. Has he sent her on her journey going forward? Rohika Chagla Mistry is MC Chagla's granddaughter. She is Cyrus Mistry's wife. Cyrus Mistry has left the human body like Rohika Chagla Mistry. Has he exited out of his human form, baby? He's in deep sleep somewhere. He's in an unconscious state. He's alive somewhere. He's at the aquarium near Purple Island at Qatar. The Aquatic Research Center at Qatar, he's over there. He's in awake state. Has he been pulled out of his sleep? What is it? Only for today and yesterday? Prior to this, was he in a deep sleep state? When Rohika Chagla Mistry was over here, she said he's in a deep state, he's asleep, he's in a very unconscious state. So was he in that state at that point in time? Now is he in a conscious state? He and Kira work together. Kira is a Pakistani spy. Cyrus Mistry, Chapurji Palunji se related guy. He gets Kira to work for him. Kira has shapeshifted for Kiran Merchant in the past. Kira and Kiran Merchant are the same man. Kira raped and murdered Rohika Chagla Mistry at some point in time at Lunavla, pretending to be Kiran Merchant. Did that incident happen along with SL? Cyrus Mistry was in the know of what happened. Was Cyrus Mistry aware of what happened? Cyrus Mistry is okay with it? Cyrus Mistry is okay with it? Cyrus Mistry, SL and Kira work as a team together. Don't keep closing my door at number 4 Jaswell. Don't keep closing that. The door that they are shutting in the drawing room of number 4 Jaswell, after the living room was moved from the front of the house to the middle of the house. They're trying to put it on Kira shape-shifting for somebody at that living room. Was Kira wearing the face of Mr. Kiran Merchant in that time? Then that has to be after 2013, after I've come back from New Zealand. Cannot be before that because Kiran uncle was never invited to 4 Jaswell. Mama could drop in once in a while, but Kiran uncle never dropped in till 2013 and I found it weird. Also, his style of handling himself was different from what we know of Kiran uncle. So that's the Pakistani spy. He's Kira, the Pakistani spy. Kiran uncle himself never ever dropped into number 4 Jaswell. You had to beg him to come over there, and it was only when he didn't even come to 4 Jaswell when your wedding happened. He came straight to the venue. And in my case, it was directly in Bangalore. So Kiran uncle never used to come to 4 Jaswell at all. Always send stuff from downstairs with the watchman. 2013 he had come up. 13-14, that's the time when Mr. Roy was in Bombay hospital and they said Mr. Roy has passed away. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Himanshu Roy. At that time Kira was in the house and he was discussing it with Mr. JAYA.ADVANI and I said that's a weird thing. That's the time when I said, Sharanya, Dhanteras, you brought her in torn ghagra choli and she was a hunchback carrying very heavy books from Sundarbai Hall and you made her walk the entire lane. She looked completely fagged out and I found that mighty weird. because nobody would do that to a child in our home. In our house, न्यानी से काम कभी नहीं निकालते हैं. It is expected the girl gets married young by 21 and then whatever in her husband's house. While she's in her father's house, it is considered a crime and a sin if you get any work done from the nyani. All this was the Pakistani spy group with domestic help hired by Kira's network, including the Kamwali Bai who used to come at my home. He hired their grandchildren. Rajkumar is hired by him. Marine Lines has lots of people hired by him. Gautam E is hired by him. Pabitra is hired by him. Those maids who were working in my house after 2022 last quarter, they all connected with him. The boy who rerouted the router, walking on this floor like Akhil Gupta, who's late Mr. Akhil Gupta, and standing as late Mr. Kiran Merchant. With two more men, they rerouted the Airtel router of mine on the 18th floor of Juara Tower, Purva Palm Beach, walked down from the 19th floor on the stairs. They've all been hired by Kira. Same network. They're Pakistani spies and criminals connected with the criminal network. 19th floor has a boy called Ayush Sharma. But Ayush Sharma, in real life, there's another one who is the brother-in-law, married to Arpita, brother-in-law of SKF. That's where this guy walked down from. SKF is the real Salman Khan. The original Mr. Salman Khan, DNA related from Mr. Salim Khan and Salma Khan. Mr. Salman Khan, DNA related to Salim Khan and Salma Khan, was murdered in 2009. After which, or parallelly to which, SKF started. There are 9 people you talked about at SKF. They slept with Nutties. Nutties shapeshifted for you as Shalina at some point in time. She's just one of them who is shapeshifted for you. Like her, there are many others, but Nutties is a special case. Nati shapeshifted for you after you pulled off the grid sometime in 2009. Hold up at Vijumbe. You were holed up at Vijumbe and Kamote by Kira himself, who had the face of Mr. Kiran Merchant at some point in time. Connected with it was Sanjeev Lekhraj also. Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj also involved. Sanjeev Lekhraj and Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj know the truth about Mr. Kiran Merchant versus Kira. Do they know that Kira is a Pakistani spy with no ethics? Do they work as a team? Can you tell me the number of kalpas and the place that Kira has earned going forward? Because it needs to go on record. Kira, who has dared to shapeshift at some point in time for Mr. Kiran Merchant, he was around when Rohika Chawla Mistry was brought to Lunavla's Prashanti Nilayam, where lots of sadhana had been done by my mom and the real Kiran Merchant through the 80s and the 90s. She died in 2013 connected with Mr. Bhimra's house. Bhimra himself is something from Chira Bazar, Bori Bazar, Bora Bazar, Bindi Bazar somewhere. Between mid-2011, after I left for New Zealand, and 2013, Rohika said lots of things went haywire with her. When Rohika was talking, the pendulum never moves this way. It moves very, very slowly because her time over there wasn't a good one. My question about Kira, who has dared to stand in for Mr. Kiran Merchant. Mess around with lots of communication, I think using towers, Airtel towers, Jio towers, don't know what towers, Vodafone, Docomo, those towers. Changing messages, intercepting messages, IMs, IP addresses, telephony, etc. etc. This guy is connected with all of it. SL is aware of what he has been up to. SL works for him. SL has 11 kalpas of Nark and Patal. SL's legally wedded wife called Amrita Sanjeev Lekraj. She's got 11 kalpas earned by her of Nark and Patal. Was Amrita ever in Ranka Park during the time I was at Ranka Park? Was Amrita went on to become Amrita Sanjeev Lekraj the 2 months that I spent at Ranka Park? Was Amrita Lekraj over there ever? She shapeshifted for Huri Lekraj at any point in time? Did she shapeshift for the one of the two maids who were also hired by Huri Lekraj? So you're saying Amrita Sanjeev Lekraj was at Ranka Park between June to August 2002? She went on to marry SL. The wedding was in Goa. That is after Cyrus Mistry was put away to Qatar 2006, June 16th. You want a very in-depth analysis done between June 16th, 2002 to June 16th, 2006, those 4 years. This direction is coming entirely from you only. The in-depth analysis will take 1 year minimum from the looks of it, because piece will have to be actually asked via Scrabble and Pendulum. This direction comes from whom? Shirdi Sai Baba? Or in getting advice from him that it needs to be done over here in this manner? Shirdi Sai Baba, when I say Shirdi Sai Baba, are we talking about Cyrus Mistry in any way? Is Shirdi Sai Baba Cyrus Mistry? The mysterious Cyrus Mistry? Is Shirdi Sai Baba as depicted in the Sai Satcharitra and the idol that is there in Shirdi, Ahmednagar district? Are we talking about like the Shirdi Sansthan and Dwarka Mai? So in consultation with him, you are saying I need to do this. You realize how chirchir we become on the back of it? How our peace of mind also gets affected for things we got nothing really to give and take with? Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj, who got married to Sanjeev Lekhraj, she earns the same amount of kalpas at Nark and Patal as her legally wedded husband from Goa or at Goa. Taj property only is where they had their marriage. She earns the same number of kalpas at Patal and Nark going forward. Last I checked with you, you said it was 23 kalpas. Is that proper? If we come to Kira, who is their partner in crime, Pakistani spy is what you call him. When I said he's Pakistani ATS, is that true? He's Pakistani ATS? Pakistani spy. When it comes to Kira, has he earned as much as Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj, Patal and Nark as a Loka? 23 kalpas is what he has earned. Have you accessed his Akashic records? Has he earned more than 23 kalpas of Patal and Nark going forward, as registered in his Akashic records at the spirit world level? More than 23 kalpas? Does he go to Rasatal? Is he due for Rasatal in the afterlife? Is Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj due for Rasatal or then above it going forward? Is Sanjeev Lekhraj due for a Loka above Patal and Nark going forward once they move into the afterlife? If we ask about Kira, has he earned 24 kalpas so far in his Akashic records of Nark and Patal? Has he earned 25 kalpas so far of Nark and Patal going forward? Has he earned 26 kalpas of Nark and Patal so far going forward? Okay. If it comes to me, do I join them in that little association of 2 months that we had? Has it spoilt my karma? Do I join them in those realms going forward? Was that small little association that happened for the few days that it did in 2002 at Ranka Park? Is it with the idea of bringing Shirdi Sai Baba in? some seers and saints in to start booking these guys for every small thing they do? Was that what was set off from June 2002 itself onwards? For all the players involved from that time onwards? That's why that little interaction happened. Okay, you want me to continue reading the Scrabble throw? I will do so. So, when I was talking off camera, getting a little irritated, I was doing so because off camera I had already found out last night about your journey. That's what triggered off, what it triggered off. I didn't record it, but the same thing's been recorded. Asking the same question during broad daylight. Okay? Not sure there is a Keralite involved. That is AO is what I'm guessing. Diego, I don't know, San Diego. Bones of those who are connected with the Western world. So EN must be the white man. So the who's who from around the world, chances are that that's where it's gone and got dumped. But I'm just saying, how can bones be transported this way? Let's hope they didn't make it powder and go and throw it in the Registan. They're saying it is by road and they're saying it is, nobody checked them, nobody stopped them, all this started 2009 onwards. AO Mop Diego Bone English. Not sure. You just figure it out. AO Mop Die English Go Bone. So I don't know if they hired some people to clear up the mess of some criminal activity done, or did people who were doing the work of mopping from Kerala, did they come to know something so they were done away with also? But Kerala is important, the mopping is important, the maid is important. They're all very important. The doing away and the dying of people, their bones being thrown, in what form, don't know. Important. Riyadh outskirts, the dunes over there, except for the water body flowing southwest. And the settlement around that is not important, the empty lands around Riyadh are very important. and Umat Diya, the empty lands surrounding that settlement, is very important for finding the bones. So excavators go over there. Who's that who does all the DNA checking? Then maybe in the sand you'll find something. I don't know. Don't know, Baba. You'll have to see how you want to do. So DNA checked, genome, genes. We got page also over here. Google's page. Elon Musk is no more. EM. You got Eon over here. EON, not Elon. Eon, I always mention to you, is the EA. The kind of people they have picked up, they are all from 420 business background. Very unqualified for anything but for being mischief mongers, grabbing stuff, working for the criminal network, poverty ridden backgrounds, willing to do anything for a leg up for the time being. Those are the kind of people they have picked up to stand in for the original guys who have the qualifications of doing the work without wearing anybody else's ego. Not sure what this stands for. Either die. So connected with Kerala, someone connected with the mob died, was a benign good person. They're no more. It comes to my mind to ask, and I will ask because I forget. So before I forget real time, I must ask since I've got the thought. I want to ask you one thing, little kitten. I'm talking on the pendulum to JAYA.ADVANI, who went to Fort Convent School with me. You were batch of 91 graduation. I was batch of 89 graduation from Fort Convent School. Both of us went to HR college. Did you also start out at HR college? Did you go to HR college, Bobo? I for sure went to HR college. Did I earn my marks to get a seat at HR college? Were my marks good in the SSC to get the seat at HR college naturally? Because somebody knew the principal, we were guided how to talk to the principal. In the Sindhi quota, did I get my seat? Did I get my seat at HR college due to the Sindhi quota? It suddenly comes to my mind to ask you, Cyrus Mistry ever shapeshifted for Chandru uncle, Chandru Mirchandani? You know Papa's best friend Chandru Mirchandani? Did Cyrus Mistry ever shapeshift for Mr. Chandru Mirchandani? Cyrus Mistry ever shapeshifted for Mr. I-Occultist, our father, at Fort Jaswell? Rohika ever shapeshifted Cyrus Mistry's wife? Did she ever shapeshift as Shalina Hundalani at Fort Jaswell? Are you sure Cyrus Mistry never shapeshifted as Mr. I-Occultist at number 4 Jaswell? I'll ask you again. Did Cyrus Mistry ever shapeshift for Mr. Kanayalal Hukumatrai Advani or Mr. I-Occultist at number 4 Jaswell? Did he ever pretend to be Mr. I-Occultist or Mr. Kanayalal Hukumatrai Advani at number 4 Jaswell? So he looked and behaved like Mr. I-Occultist? Is it easily detectable that he is not Mr. I-Occultist? Is that what the problem is with shape-shifting or this crisping or whatever the hell these guys do? Varsha, I want to know, did I legally inherit through nomination what was bought in Dadi's name, then transferred on Dadi's death into Papa's name, and then nominated 50% to me and 50% to you? Was it legally done for us, like out of goodwill? When Papa bought Suman Towers and he bought Tulsiani Chambers, 509 Tulsiani Chambers, was he willingly investing in you and me out of his business money? Was there any foul play on the back of it? Done by Papa himself prior to 1986? The equity Papa ever bought in our name during the 70s with probably guidance from Vital Malia. Did Papa buy shares and equity in your name and my name? Was that legally done for you and me? In the 70s and a little in the 80s maybe? Then why do these people keep calling it Benami and Benam? Why do they keep calling it? Are they trying to malign stuff because they are incompetent? A-grade liars? Is it because they don't know how to do a bloody job and the only way they have ever even stepped 1 mm ahead is on the back of deceitful, manipulative lies? This bunch that keeps calling things Benami, are they going to join the rest of the thrash at Patal and Nark, no matter what positions they hold, anywhere in the world? You better watch that tongue. First and foremost, I am not Benami. I come from a proper family. My father is a son of a landlord. Pretty well settled that 4 years prior to the partition, through the grapevine that the network of my forefathers were associated with, they were able to move from Hyderabad, Sindh to Bombay, taking base level value for 400 to 600 acres of whatever the property was, ancestrally not sold. They lived in a joint family. The division happened so that those who wanted to move wherever they wanted to move could move, amongst 4 brothers or 3 brothers, not sure. Other than my grandfather, the rest of them still stayed behind. The division of the property between the siblings happened only prior to partition in Hyderabad, Sindh. Prior to that, they were a joint family. So to be able to make a move 4 years prior to partition should tell you about my background. For my grandfather not to bother with the people he's rented some part of his property out to, not to bother with them, to do a deal where he earns much less than what it would be through negotiation with all the people and then whoever they're hiring to work on the land. He just did a direct deal with the Hindustan government, so he could move states because that was still Hindustan. Should tell you his desire for huge amount of money or desperation for it. It should tell you he likes shortcuts. Also, he likes to keep the crap low. So he didn't have any desire to be crappy the way you people have been since 86 onwards. You made stories, you believed your own stories, you are substrata of the lowest bottom of the pyramid, desperate for any bloody penny thrown in your way and in your face. You come from shit, you are shit, you were shit, you will always be shit. Alright? Level up, you piece of bloody pig shit. Useless as crap. You don't level up. You cheap. Worse than the dumping. Thrashy stuff that China dumps anywhere it can get a chance to. At 1 penny. You're worse than that. Energetically. Let me tell you, my ancestry doesn't have a problem when they have left the body and gone. The choices made by you speaks volumes about who you are. Generally, when a girl gets married, she marries better off than she is. That's what parents do for the child. So, you must have thought you're marrying industrialist quality. From your perspective, must be an industrialist. वहीं से पता है तुमको कहाँ से उठाया है. I want to ask you a simple question. When I will never give you potato smileys ever again in the future. I'd rather just give potato shots, garlic shots, वो better है. Rather, even I will not be eating potato smileys. Why eat up our own smiles? I think when you're able to smile, it is on the back of rewards for a peaceful, happy, contented life. This is why you smile. Why eat it up? Right? Anyway, what I want to say is the depiction over here on one of the smileys. The depiction on the back of one of the smileys, is it important to discuss? What I noticed 2 days or yesterday, but I didn't address it because I was kind of freaked out. It reminded me of what was on the door of my bedroom. It reminded me of you in a way. The skull broken, the nose broken, the eyes in the same kind, mouth screeching wide open, and the side of the skull also broken. You were trying to say something through it. Parallelly to it, again I saw you in the garland of the temple like a Shenai. Were you trying to depict something? Were you trying to depict Rohika? Chagla Mistri? You are Rohika Chagla Mistri? Okay, tell me one thing. Are the same kind of interpretation on this smiley? Or what was on my door of my bedroom? The girl, listen, first and foremost, JAYA.ADVANI, file name cat. Is she Rohika Chagla Mistri? Are they one and the same person? That's what I'm trying to understand. The girl whose skull was broken and her mouth was screeching, it looked like a skull with a nose broken, very similar to this. They're the same markings. Is it true? Is this depicting the situation of file name cat, JAYA.ADVANI, who went to Fort Convent School with me? Here you are trying to depict what? The 9 years at Vichumbe Kamote? You are trying to tell me you were beaten up over there? Your nose was broken? You were raped? That is between 2009 and 2018? February is when you say you died, rather were murdered. Kira is involved as Mr. Kiran Merchant. Sanjeev Lekhraj is involved. Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj is involved. Kira is a Pakistani spy. He gives information to Raw and to whoever takes the information from Raw. In short, they have been booked for criminal activity on wrong information. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say over here? You're trying to communicate to that bunch who knows who they are, from domestic helps to public servants, to people in some corporate structures too. Same thing happened with Rohika, but to a lesser extent. At Lonavala bungalow itself, Mrs. Bhimra's home also, or the Bhimra's home also involved. Did this happen with Bartila, the maidservant who worked at our home, or rather at Papa's home in 2003, 4, 5? Has this condition happened to the maid or the maid's friends? Has the maid called Bartila Bertie, along with the Kamwali Bai's granddaughter, been hired by Kira to help out in this kind of nefarious activity, partly depicted over here? So I am just asking you in plain words. This depicts the before and the after, Varsha. Is it also depicting two sisters? Were you also trying to depict two sisters? This sister is Tremona. This sister is you. So Tremona has not been beaten up. That's what you're saying? You were beaten up? Does this depict me and you also? So I have not been beaten up. You were beaten up. That's what you're trying to say? Does this depict Rohika also in any way? AO moped B 1 nig, South African pretending to be Keralite. South Africa has been doing its job over here. You just have to compare India's natural resources with places like Sudan and Middle Eastern places, and you just go do your Reiki of key places and figure out why this has happened. The guys who have infiltrated over here, 50% of I don't know where they've gone and spread themselves. It's all a question of CRISPRing. अब निक जो है वो अफ्रीका, साउथ अफ्रीका से आते हैं, आके घुस गए हैं पता नहीं कहाँ. They are not going to have your best interest in mind. I don't understand why you don't understand it. Allowing them is a criminal network. They are the impoverished of the impoverished, desperate as hell. You have allowed them into the country. Or they have ghus out into I don't know where. कहाँ ये वो कहाँ निग, मोपेड पे वो भी. अब ये ऐसे लोग जावे मॉपिंग पॉपिंग करने के लिए कहाँ नहीं घुसेंगे, फिर छोड़ के क्या निकलते हैं. इनका जो हाथ मिलाना क्रिमिनल नेटवर्क के साथ जो है, वेयर आर दे टेकिंग एक्चुअली देन द एक्चुअल इंडियन पब्लिक? Straight from their house. Where in the Sata drives are they taking the women of I don't know every household? They're celebrating Eid on the back of it. बेवकूफ को समझाओ. AO mop B bed 1 nick or shapeshifted and slept with somebody somewhere. Whoever is recognizing what this is, recognize for whatever it is. Everybody doesn't know everything. The Scrabble rearranges itself to throw light. If it fits and you can remember when or what the possibility, probability are, then figure it out. I don't know anybody. Neither this nor this. Nor that also. ये जो टाइमलाइन है, शी सेइंग दोज बोन्स वर थ्रोन 2009 onwards in the places depicted in the map. So this happened in which year? I don't know. I'll ask her. You keep your uneducated shit out of my home. Desperado, you're not even on your own land. Stinking and stealing. You'll talk to me about me in my own home. Bloody fuck. You steal, I don't steal. I get. That also comes walking to me from the front. Not crap like you. Take your shit, shove it up your ass, be gone. Don't you dare. Desperado from a shithole. You're desperate when you talk that crap. Spit-worthy bloody swine. You trash. Come on. Come on, come on. Just fucking off. Come on. Go. Gone. Do you want to discuss this that is on the board? Was there somebody who's from Kerala who was doing the work of mopping at somebody's home? The timeline is when? Before 2010? Between 2010 and 2020? Between 2020 to 2023? Start of 2023 to 2024? That means 2 years time. So you're saying the last 2.5 years? You're talking about the maid who was working at my home, someone who was from actually Kerala. There was a girl who was from Kerala also working in my home. So a Afro Black has slept with her. Was she aware of it? Was she aware what happened with her? You're saying these guys enter into people's homes forcefully breaking things to rape the women? Have they started this business? So the girl was working in the cleaning service industry. The Afro Black didn't spare her. That's what you're trying to say? That girl is still in her human form today? That girl is a married woman? In short, was she raped by the Afro Black since she didn't know anything? You're bringing it to her notice? You're also bringing it to the notice of people who live in apartments like ours to have their homes grilled? Or then to lock their doors properly on the inside of their bedrooms? These guys have been just doing this anywhere and everywhere, arbitrarily. This is what you're bringing to their notice. This is the third time I'm getting this kind of a read for PPB. Except that this is not being called PPB, it's called PB, Palm Beach. But PB is at Bangalore or at Florida? Are you talking about Palm Beach as Purva Palm Beach? Are you talking about Palm Beach at Florida? You're telling me both places are affected? So you're warning both places in advance? For Purva Palm Beach, this is the second time I'm getting the same thing. Even at that time in 2023-24, I too gave the warning from before. Also, when it came to the elderly in 21-22 living at Purva Palm Beach, they were going meeting, somebody was guiding you as elderly people in the night, get together. Don't do that. You don't know how shitty these people are. They have no ethics, no morals. And they have a replica for you. They know how to shapeshift, they're here to grab assets. So I am doing my duty as a normal citizen for your welfare. Whether you want to take it or not is your choice. This is one example. Only one of the locks that was broken in my home. All I did was go for lunch, come back, then this is the problem. The lunch was not more than I'd gone. Not sure what this is. AO Mop Bed ED Government of India 9. Not sure. Okay. IG 9. Go 9. Ego 9. These are all the various permutations, combinations. This lady could have owned 9 people's ego. That is possible. Could be jumping here and there via the IP address, changing location. So she doesn't get found out. Beed is a place or what it is, I'm not sure. But Beed, I don't think has anything to do with being Keralite. I think this is Maharashtra. Whereas AO is Kerala. So Kerala and Maharashtra is hand in hand. Kerala and Maharashtra, somebody from Kerala, somebody from Maharashtra, or a group of people from Kerala and a group of people from Maharashtra are hand in glove for some efforts. They're not very good ones. Okay, you know this better than I know. I don't know too well, but if you can make sense of it, nothing like it. Okay. It's DIE, not DEI. 9 die. Okay. Map AO beg go 9 die means map AO be gone die in India and English. Of course, there is something to do with some Maos also. You know what Mao is? There's no Maoist. What is it? Mao and militant. There's some Mao. She's also passed away, I think. Mao Dip English be gone. Or maybe she passed away. Or she went to become a PG. Mao be die English or go pen. पेन इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो ना पता है पेन कहाँ है? ये वही है विचुम्बे पुचुम्बे के निकलते निकलते देन यू कैन गो टू पेन ऑन द वे टू गोवा. गोवा है यहाँ पे. Again, this is all Maharashtra related. Maharashtra to Goa. That Bombay Pune Expressway is on the way to Goa Pen as a diversion. Pen then Goa, or then you go off to Pune. You go straight. On that expressway is that Vichumbe and Kamote and that what's it called Baman Dongri and that JNPT. Both places have people dumped either above the ground, below the ground, where the construction is there, or then under the ground, on either side of that expressway. I don't know if someone liked penne pasta. Is someone like penne? Goa Moon Pen Dye Ben. Nib. Let me ask her, she still wants me to read, or she has said whatever she wanted to say. Naomi's name is over here. She is Uday's wife. Her name is actually spelled this way. Uday is her husband. But he is not spelled properly. So that means I got Uday and Abhay Agarwala no more. Naomi's name is spelled properly. So she is around, but I don't think she lives in this country. She lives abroad somewhere. Arsha's friend. Friend of Zareen. Friend of that girl who was a kleptomaniac. What's her name? Nandita? Uday is no more. This is the second confirmation. Pen or penny. DG. Don. 1 DGP. But then she should know about Uday. If there is any connection with the DGP. So in this group, the twins, Abhay and Uday Agarwal, studied at HR college with Varsha and me, went to Cathedral School with Ankur Patodia, are my father's sister's husband's side of cousins. My father's youngest sister, 190 Sankey Road, Upper Palace Orchard, Sadashiv Nagar. By dint of her being my father's sister, we go to her house even when we are little babies. So the dresses you see where we're wearing things that are got a lot of lace work done in it, which my first earliest photo is when I am 2 years old. All that is done by her designing, but the tailors attached to who do the work of tailoring. So she does the designing. She's done it for Tumona, she's done it for Pramila, she's done for me, some for Varsha. It's her shauk, बहुत शौकीन है, like a proper Punjabi Sindhi lady. So it is her husband's, the Guptas, their side of their family, her husband's side of the family, the Gupta Agarwal side of it. These two boys are the cousins from her husband's side, the way we are the cousins of Kabir and Akhil from the mother's side. So OODAI is UDAI AY under normal circumstances, husband of Naomi. Okay. Okay, there is also something to do with the dome. GP, PG, Pen, Gen, Jean, so dome to everybody has. How does it go to maybe her father? Does she have anything connected with Hyderabad or then with Andhra Pradesh? I don't know. I don't think so. She's a Gujarati girl. Maybe she has a DP with a dome on it. In Bombay, though, really we don't have too much hang-ups. It's just the way the city is built. It's definitely not a conservative society. So I'll ask Farsha if she wants to say something about Naomi. She knew Naomi. She didn't know Naomi. Naomi knew those who came into Forge Asphalt post 1996 on the back of my going away to QUT. The girl who went to Fort Convent School with me, who's JAYA.ADVANI, file name Cat. She was indisposed 1997, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. She said she didn't even come to my marriage. But then Naomi and Nandita, the klepto, Zareen and all were introduced after 96, 97 with Ankur Patodia. That was a new crowd that I saw had suddenly arrived, that is on my arriving for a holiday in the semester break during QUT's first year. the end of 1996 and then the beginning of 1997. So primarily some part of 96, 97, 98 we hear about people. But the interaction was end 96 and then some part of 97 suddenly. So I'll ask her if she wishes to say anything. I don't know. I don't even know what to ask. I don't even know what to ask actually. We'll ask. Okay, we'll just take it and see what we get. I don't have anything specific in mind. Did you say something about me waiting? You said Chutiya. Wait. For what? I don't understand. Why are you giving me bad words? And you played the sound of some change, dropping. I don't think anybody in our normal going to school, college ever had these hang-ups. I'd suggest you cut it if you've interacted with us. And then whoever's passing cheap comments, don't do it. You don't belong to my social background nor my network. You're like a bad influence. So just keep it low. And no, I don't think I don't know. Am I? Some girl spoke. You playing the ET of this girl? What are you doing? There's a man who talks in a hijra voice, high falsetto. Then there was a girl with a straightforward voice who just spoke in the right side of my body after making the sound of change. At that point in time, you talked about Chutiya wait or Chutiya mate. God only knows what you said, but you used the word Chutiya. So don't do that. You're a desperado. Don't do that. Okay, the kind of people I grew up with are not the shitty energy you're throwing, hiding. You're very poor quality. You're not my background. You're not my social network. You're a desperado from the substrata of normal society that is at the bottom of the pyramid. Even they are better than you are. Are you around? Have you gone for... Are you around to talk? Do you have anything to say about Naomi? Is there anything you want to say about Naomi? Naomi got married to Uday Agarwal. Uday Agarwal has a twin called Abhay Agarwal. Uday Agarwal and Abhay Agarwal are the only two sons of their parents. Uday Agarwal and Abhay Agarwal have two sisters also. Uday Agarwal, Abhay Agarwal, Ankur Patodia were classmates at Cathedral School. They knew each other from Cathedral School days. Uday Agarwal, Abhay Agarwal went to HR college with us. They used to go to Saldanas with me too. They knew Manjari Sumani. Uday Agarwal, Abhay Agarwal. We start with Uday Agarwal. He got married to Naomi, mentioned on this board. Same guy, same girl. You knew both of them. I was acquainted with her. I knew him. Uday Agarwal is still in his human physical form today. The one who went to Cathedral School. His twin Abhay Agarwal is still in his human form today. The guys we met up at Kodaikanal at Sterling Resorts. The two boys with Vishal had also turned up over there. So we had a big group, Kabir, Akhil, you, me, Uday, Abhay and Vishal. Seema was not there. When we got back to Bangalore, Seema joined us. Is that boy in his human form? Now you're doing no. Let me ask you. Did Uday Agarwal and Abhay Agarwal, along with Vishal Gupta, did they join us sometime when we had gone to Kodaikanal with Kabir, Akhil, Koshi Auntie, Subhash Uncle and JAYA.ADVANI for one of the school breaks and the holidays? We were at Sterling Resorts in Kodi. The Uday Agarwal and the Abhay Agarwal and the Vishal Gupta who had come over there, were they the original Gupta Agarwals, Subhash Uncle's nephews, or rather nephews from Subhash Uncle's side of the family? Were they the originals? Are those boys, keeping Vishal Gupta aside, is Uday Abhay Agarwal the twins? Are they, those boys, are they in their human form today? Are they physically in the physical form today? Naomi was married to Uday Agarwal. You're telling me Uday Agarwal was removed from his body before Naomi got married to Uday Agarwal? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Don't we all know that Naomi got married to Uday Agarwal and they were living in different countries due to their work in the corporate sector? You're telling me Naomi never got married to Uday Agarwal? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Did Naomi know she was not marrying the real Uday Agarwal? Neena is Uday and Abhay's mother. She's mentioned in this throw. What is it? She's in a problem? Is that what you're trying to bring to her notice? The dome is what? A Hindu dome? Connected with Naomi is a Hindu dome? So you're saying Naomi is the dome gene, which means from the temple dome? Is it the masjid dome? No, you can't go for both, Varsha. It's one or the other. You're saying she's a mixed breed between a Hindu dome and a Muslim dome? The genes you're speaking is of what? Anyway, can Naomi be trusted for well-being? She's part of the movement where they grab assets, manipulate, lie, are deceitful, From a viewpoint of what? Grabbing assets of other people from a rear door entry. She's part of that movement. She's run by somebody. Kira is part of that movement. So in short, you are saying it is connected back to the nexus of duplicates plugged into the Indian society, getting rid of the originals for asset grabbing. In short. That's what it is. You shrieking from my fan talking a whole load of shit is just you being stupid. Don't do that. Your network is one desperate network. You call it what? Financial freedom. Jihad. You call it what? Bridging the gap of inequality between the rich and the poor. But that's redundant. If you haven't understood the law of karma, the debts associated with the soul being the only truth, the body being transient, ट्रांजिशनरी, टेम्पररी. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा जो तू खेलो गलत कर्म करके आगे जाके तुमको कितने ओवरड्राफ्ट पे ओवरड्राफ्ट जो ऑलरेडी ले चुके हैं, कितना पेमेंट करने पे तुम लोग निकलोगे. 14 लोका जो है हमारा बनाया हुआ लोका नहीं है, वो तो इट इज़ देन एवरी स्क्रिप्चर. द 15th being नर्क फॉर रियली द फूलिश वंस. तो हु यू आर आर्ग्यूइंग व्हाट विथ? Okay, don't know how to read it, but this is what is. These are different permutation combination connected with the name. Naomi Dope B Jean. It could be Do IP. I don't know if she shapeshifts or somebody she knows is shapeshifting for the PM's position in India or anywhere else. Can't get benign because the eye goes. Naomi PM IG Nob Do EE. See over here also in Hindi it is now NAO, and we got 9 in English also. The number 9 is very important for some reason. I don't know why the number 9 is so important. Let me ask her PM number 9, because in the PM they have PM1, PM2. On every Amazon parcel they have PM1, PM2, PM3. Let me see if I have it. So, and then they have the barcoding and the QR coding, and that talks a lot of shit. People like you contribute to giving us a good name forcefully on the streets. Don't you know that's called maligning, defamation of somebody? It's bad karma. Then you must not try to grab rewards given to those who don't indulge in that kind of foolishness. Then in the future they are born into okay homes. They are in the garbage also. Someone goes, picks them up and gives them a good life. It's all rewards for previous lifetimes. Hard work put in. Doing nothing also, if you don't do bad karma, that's also earning punya. Doing all activities but steeped in bad karma earnings is no good. It's non-productive activity. Then why blame other people? But when you hold the Bhagavad Gita talking about righteousness and unrighteousness, that is the only 4 lines. You haven't read the rest of the book. Then the levels of desperation on the back of wanting to get something shows itself over there only. Don't misconstrue Advait. It's a shame when you talk about it and this kind of behavior. There's no match. And no, I don't know the Bhagavad Gita very well. I've read the Satcharitra. I go follow it a little bit. Many times we're off also, so we're not, let's just say, the authority to decide. But all I know is, as the man rightly put it, I call it dance drama. It's called theoretics. The theoretics doesn't help anybody, especially if it is manipulative, deceptive, and it harms people more than it is helping people. That also really long term at an atmic level, at a soul level. Varsha, I want to ask you one thing. The number 9 is very important. I know you are meditating, but then if you want me to do these sessions, then I will have to disturb you. Otherwise, what's the point of doing these sessions? Because I do need to know, as the question turns up, I need to have it clarified. Otherwise, it will still be a big question mark. The number 9 is important. Number 9 is important as somebody's birth date or a compound number which becomes a number 9. So like 9, 18, 27. So number 9 is important. Nine people are important. PM number 9 is important. There are how many people shape-shifting for Narendra Damodar Das Modi, the PM of India? NDM Namo Namo. So they have PM1, PM2, PM5, PM10, PM whatever. Mostly PM2, PM something, don't know. It's always on the Amazon packaging with the barcoding. Amongst them there is a PM9. That person is important. Naomi is connected with the shape-shifting business. They have shape-shifted for some IG as well as for PM. Their nexus has got into Bezos' company to shape-shift within there also. Mr. Bezos, married to Scott McKinsey, is that man in his human form today? Is he in his physical form today? The founder of Amazon. I am not the founder, but because he's so stupid, say Amazon, idiot will make me a founder. We're not a founder. So the man who founded the e-commerce firm with huge, let's just say a huge network connecting into every household, that man, Mr. Jeff Bezos, is he in his human physical form today? Was I shown in 2000 and 2020 sometime In and around coronavirus, I don't know, before or after, was I shown a vision during my prayers of him wearing shorts and a banyan vest at some mall cleaning some toilets? Was I shown that? Was it a naughty thought in my brain purposely trying to create it for myself? Was it shown to me without my knowing it as a vision of something that has happened in the past to somebody? Okay, I haven't been holding this camera actually with my hands simply because it's too much of an effort. So if this was bouncing this way, it's not that. This is bouncing on its own. Okay. Well, you gotta trust because this is doing its own job. It's got something to say. The number 9 is very important. In their rostering, number 9 is important. Aarti Nanthur's birthday also culminates to number 9. Is she born on the 9th of September or the 18th of September? I'm not sure. 1975. She is very important. She gives these activities. She is my mother's sister's daughter. From the Advani side of the family, it says that she has whatever wrong activity she is given with, she has shared some of the spoils with Tara Chand Advani's children, Maya Chelsea Advani in America. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. Tara Chand Advani was able to buy his own, whatever his little bungalow or whatever it was he had, nice thing, with his own hard-earned money. That was pretty good. He was doing accounting work, I believe, for something which was a government outfit in America. He left pretty soon after he graduated in college. He was the oldest brother, older than my father also, 1.5 years older than my dad. So he too left and went away to America. And then got a government job over there and was doing an accountant's work in some, I think, public outfit. He was very good at saving, I feel. A good man. So anyway, I don't know if she's involved with somebody born in the year 1971. She's supposed to be 1975. Born in and around Varsha's year. So she should ideally be born in the year of the rabbit cat, at the most 1 year older, 1 year younger. The pig is 1971. Naomi is too young. Uday Abhay themselves are 1973. So maybe there is some interaction of hers with somebody born in the year 1971. The shapeshifter who has come in the place of Uday Abhay is 1971, or is the guy born in 1971 shapeshifting for Uday Abhay? It's very difficult because Uday Abhay are quite tall. They are not short. They're tall boys. Both of them. You know how it is with the Jats. So they used to be very proud about being the Jat community, and lots of fun around it. Just harmless, innocent stuff. They are minimum, they're pretty tall. I can't see which born in the year of 1971. Generally, most of them are not that tall. I don't live in a paying guest. I live in my own self-owned home. I don't know, if you live in a self-owned home, are they actually going to kill people to grab the asset and transfer it? How you can justify that? On one hand, my this 2 BHK apartment is being called dimes. Yet it is stuff that was inherited by me rightfully. No Benami. Who says Benami? Just because on EEE you put out the wrong information, it doesn't make it the right information. That is bad karma. Then when you are born in a shithole, you're dying to get out. You want to go into the high rises and the 4 BHK apartments in prime Bombay. You'll do anything for it. That again is falling even further. Bora Bazaar, Bindi Bazaar, Chira Bazaar, चौनी रोड, बहुत फ़र्क है उसमें और 4 BHK का राइज. हाई राइज के अंदर very different going to whichever school and then going to good schools. But then to get those births, you have to put in the effort. No, you have to keep it straight. Instead of keeping it straight, you justify why you should do even more wrong. But then that doesn't help you ultimately. This time you have a roof over your head. Next time, what is it going to be? Don't know who this is about, not sure. Maybe he has put it on her, I don't know. Okay, not sure. She will know better what this is. This is all the miscreant behavior from EEEE. And they say they've done a setting for 400 years going forward. This is the way it's going to function. So you made the Advanis who are actually Zamindar bloodline from Hyderabad, Sindh. You made us the OB Dobi category. You pegged us that way on your EE SATA drive. That's very strange. So just for you to understand, to be able to pre-partition move from Hyderabad, Sindh to Bombay 4 years before partition happened, the circles were such that information was flowing through Hindustan. The decision makers who knew what was to happen, connected with high government and business, knew what was to come, so they could move accordingly. Those with huge amount of wealth but were not lucky enough to do their divisions and let people settle according to their choices, were the ones who had to leave behind desperately on the back of slaughter and move to whatever it is last minute they could get. In my grandfather's case, he was well networked enough, educated enough, with his own father being educated enough to do the division amongst my grandfather's siblings and him, where my grandfather got 400 to 600 acres or whatever that land was. Prior to that, they were a nice joint family, 4 brothers, ancestrally. Now you make 400 to 600 acres of land and multiply it by 4. Ancestrally, that was their land. My grandfather was so hard up for money, so desperate, just like you, that he just gave it off without looking at every tiny profit that he can make. When you are told stories from 86, that also on the back of the murderer, stealer, cheap cheat who uses people from the bottom of the pyramid. You don't even have common sense, you have ignobility in you. Then you don't understand nobleness. You consider it foolishness. या कभी कभी तो गधा को बाप बनाएगा. तुम खुद कहाँ पैदा हुआ है कि ऐसे घटिया सोच तो लेके पूरा तुम्हारा जन्म तुमने निकाला है. Naomi Gap Dobi Bini. Okay. Naomi Pa Dobi B Jean. Naomi Pa Dobi Den. Maybe he is involved in some social services, so he hires people for a social cause, then he deals with them. Maybe she's got somebody who shapeshifts with her who's from AP. I don't think this girl is from AP. She was living a Gujarati life. Anyway, there is some interplay where forcefully via EEE they dump things on people which are not necessarily true. Like, let's just put this to you. Let's give you an example of this shit. We spent 94 lakhs. Today this property is worth 1.2 crores. They are selling this property in the advertisements for 1.35 crores. 1 crore 35 lakhs. With inflation in the last 5 years, I spent 96 lakhs. Now this is a CCTV camera. If you look at it in entirety, what does it say? Owner J 1801 PPB, which is Purva Palm Beach, JAYA.ADVANI. What the fuck did you do with it? Owner J 18 JAA Vani, because I am talking, Vani means to speak. You're that desperate? You'll put this, I'm an aide in my home for spending 96 lakhs with the builder because a fuck like you says so. On the EC, you will make me a PG. You're the one who will grant. And this government helps you. Then tell me I'm not wrong about the government being labor class from the Middle East, having those kind of people in India's parliament. Kira not being a Pakistani spy, dares to steal stuff from Kiran Merchant, who was murdered in 2009. How are you allowing this? That also on Indian soil, fooling the Hindus with the Hindutva game played the Islam way. Ram temple banaya hai. How? There are plenty of red flags associated with you people, frankly telling you. Plenty of red flags ever since 2000 and I would say 90. If I look at it very carefully, I would say red flags ever since 1996. Ever since I went away to Queensland University of Technology. हमारे पीठ पीछे ऐसे कचरा आ गया था हमारे घर के अंदर, बोले थूकने लायक है, थूकने लायक, literally. I got a history from 73 to 96. Enough time to know energy. Could be Jen. So this girl has come to our home also pretending to be Varsha. Which version of Varsha's friend? No idea. But this is post 96, I think. Maybe in the India building exercise, she is doing some public kind of work or public service work, don't know. So that's what gets her to interact this way because it's a generation. This crowd watches my house, talks a lot of shit. I'd suggest you get a life and fuck around at my home. My home is inherited wealth, not stolen stuff, just because you say so. Fucking around with genealogy, genome, because you couldn't earn it by birth, is not the way going forward. It is sure shot falling with no picking up ever after that, because stealing is stealing. Manipulation is manipulation. Deceit is deceit. Poor Atma quality, poor Loka earned is just that. It can't get more black and white once you move naked into the soul form. There is no escape. Not even for me. I will also be naked in soul. For me also, what bad words I give, I am going to be held accountable. It goes against me. I am accepting it, I am taking responsibility for it. It is expected that everybody takes responsibility for everything they put out. Don't make excuses and don't keep grabbing and associating with the wrong kind of people, wrong kind of agendas, no matter how they package it. यहाँ पे माउनी जो है, that is supposed to be Kiran uncle's niece, but Mauni to got married to Videocon family. She's Vena's daughter, Manik Lal and Vena's daughter. Marwadis of very rich quality, but then he got into trouble. Something, he was in the money lending business, or he was, I don't know what they were doing. This girl got married to the Videocon family. Suddenly in 2007-8, Mauni was interacting with Mr. Kiran Merchant. Which version? She's his niece. Kiran Merchant did not interact with Mauni from the time she was a young baby. When she got married also, I don't think he went for her wedding. Suddenly in 2006, 7, 8, 9 is what I heard. Suddenly he started talking about her. Who did she interact with? How did this come about? Because Mauni's great-grandfather or grandfather was a money lender to the film industry and a very rich landlord of many buildings in prime South Bombay, Chowpatty. What did you do with that girl? Her mother, Veena. Her brains are in the lab connected with the Don only in Pune to Europe. तो ऐसे घटिया कर्म पैसों के लिए कौन बनाए और कौन सा घटिया ऐसे क्रिमिनल से डील्स करके रेंटल तो कहाँ पे दे रहा है? ऑफ पूना, चीप लैब्स ऑफ पूना, desperados. Where you are giving the money? Where are you giving the money? Indirectly, you are responsible if Videocon was called for a heist. You people are responsible for every stealing, whether it is Kingfisher, whether it is Cafe Coffee Day, whether it is Videocon. It is you who are responsible for the stealing. And everybody who covers your crime for you. You dare to be in a medical line. You freaks. Go to hell. अभी नहीं गया है. जब तू बॉडी से निकलेगा नरक में तू मर के रो के रोएगा. रो. तुम पे इतने श्राप है इतने लोगों का जिन्होंने कर्म ठीक रखा था, काम भी ठीक किया था. You fucked around with everybody. You deserve hell. It's well fucking earned by you. So maybe Manik Lal itself had been replaced earlier. Her mother, Veena's brains are in the lab. This girl was interacting. Suddenly Kiran Merchant makes mention of her after 2007. Before that, not ever. But Mr. Kiran Merchant, her real uncle, died in 2000. He was murdered, my pendulum says 2009. There was a behavioral change where I warned my mom slowly on the phone, I think, something is not feeling okay. But she got angry with me, rightfully, because otherwise Kiran uncle is a very nice man. So there were behavioral changes, which are highly questionable. So her father's name is Manik Lal. Her mother's name is Veena. She is married in the Videocon family, is what I was told. Is that Andhra Pradesh or is that Tamil Nadu? I have no idea. But it is foul play, the source is the same. So you deal with the source, get rid of them. And don't go chasing tail of people who are innocent, who've been stolen from. Because you're good at doing that. Very good at doing that. Don't know if they've gotten rid of her, gone and put a Dobi in her place. Otherwise, how her mother's brains will be studied in a lab from Pune and Europe. That rent is going where? You've done the same thing with my body. Bloody rats. I am closing the session now. It is pretty late. It is 2 in the afternoon. Okay. I want to ask her if she still wants me to do the read later on. Hey, we are not hard up for money. The way you desperados are. Not hard up. यहाँ पे चिल्लर लेके पैदा हुई हैं तुम लोगों को ट्रैप करने के लिए. मजा तो आगे देखो. उतरो तू तेरे आत्मिक रूप पे. नंगा नाचेगा नरक पे भीख मांग मांग के. एक शरीर 5 सेकंड का, एक कीड़ा मकोड़ा का भी तुमको नहीं मिलेगा. Forget about anything else. Useless. You will gain as of what you have put out. The rule book is very clear in the spirit world. Everybody will gain equally unbiased depending on what they put out as seeds. खोटा है तो खोटा ही खाएगा, किसने क्या बोला है? Everybody will gain equally. Everybody is on an equal platform. घटिया कर्म कर, सिंपैथी के लिए रो, जैसे तू आज सुबह कर रहा था. क्या पेट का सवाल है, मजबूरी है? And if that is the case, you bloody do the work. You get the rewards accordingly. If a bloody fool talks that language, does the wrong things every time and then wants different results, वो तो है महा बेवकूफ. Don't bother. Don't waste your time. Stealing is not Advait. Don't you dare. If illiterates like you dare to go shape-shifting for governance, while the bones of actual governance is spread around God only which deserts, so then we are in deep shit and not of our own making. Are you here? What I am trying to understand, can I shut this reading? Can I leave this as the last? Do I need to continue with this topic going forward? No. In this one throw, do I need to still continue with this throw, baby? So I can close it, conclude it over here. At least this throw I can conclude at this portion. Naomi can be trusted, baby. Okay, never mind. I'll have to close it at this. I'll be going for lunch, eating some lunch. Okay, you want something? You want me to offer you something? Okay, I'll see what is there. Is apple okay if I offer you? Since apple and cheese, new apple and cheese is okay if I offer to you? New big dish? Okay. Fine. Is it okay if I take away the potato smileys now and the old big dish and the apple and cheese? Is it okay to remove it? Do you want me to take away the ghatia and the bhel also? All of it? Okay. Fine. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to close the session here. Okay, at this part.